Welcome to the Economic Times Retail Awards 2013. This third edition of the Economic Times Retail Awards is brought to you by the Economic Times and the Retailers Association of India. It's an initiative of the Times Grey Cell, and these awards have been brought to you by Mark Jack in association with KSL and IMEA Inspiring Loyalty. We'd also like to thank our television partners, ET Now and Ernst & Young, our process advisors. Retail is one of the pillars of India's economy and accounts for over 15% of its GDP, employing over 40 million people, which is more than the population of most European countries. So, retail rocks, and Indian retail rocks. And today, we will celebrate this very excellence in Indian retail. And to give the welcome address, I call on stage a gentleman who leads a team of over 2,000 people and is responsible for many of the key business decisions of his company. Please welcome the president of Bennett Coleman & Company, the inimitable Arunab Das Sharma.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And on the behalf of Times Group and on my personal behalf, welcome to this, the third edition of the ET Retail Awards. Retailing is something that is fascinating, and it's something that is very, very important to our economy, as Kabir said. Being a representative of the Times Group, it is something of great importance and interest to us, because we have almost stood next to it and not only watched its progress in this country, but in some small way also helped its progress in the country. The messages that we send out to over 80 million people every morning also helps this industry, helps the economy, helps the employment, and of course helps us and our bottom line. So without much ado, you will hear some very fascinating views from arguably one of the most high-powered panels in the industry, and we've aptly called it Masterclass. I also would like to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Manu Anand of PepsiCo, and all of you. Most importantly, an event of this magnitude can never be put to place without support of our valued partners, our sponsors, our knowledge partners. So I'd like to thank them personally, and I hope that all of you will continue to support this initiative, and we will continue to meet year after year to actually honor and felicitate some of the winners in this category of retail excellence. Thank you once again, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Mr. Das Sharma. Our next speaker for today is widely recognized as the architect of PepsiCo's foods business in India. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Manu Anand.
Good evening. It's indeed a pleasure. And as Arnab was talking, I picked up a term he said, I was on the other side. So it's indeed a pleasure to be invited as the chief guest for this function, for the Retail Awards, given that I'm somebody from the other side. And the fact that for 364 days of the year, I get beaten up by a lot of people in this room, this almost makes up for that. So thank you for inviting me for this, Arnab, and thank you, all of you, for being here. It's indeed a pleasure. Therefore, as we talk about what's going to happen next in organized retail, I think a lot of people say, well, FDI is going to make the impact and make the big change or the big revolution. But I think no. I think it's the demographics of India that are going to be the biggest driver of organized retail in the next gen journey. And the reason was just that. It's the consumer who is the king. And the new consumer is changing. Demographic profiles, increased income levels, urbanization, technology is all bringing out a big shift in demographic, consumer tastes and shopping preferences. And all of these can really be addressed by modern retail. So my belief is that they are going to define the next generation of retailing and not any other factor. And so in such a situation, what I was going to talk about is how FMCG companies can partner with retailers on this next-gen journey. Now, what do the FMCG industry really have to offer? And I think the number one thing is brands. Scale brands. I mean, I look at just our company, PepsiCo, we've got 8 brands of over 1,000 crores. And then if you multiply that by the other brands in the FMCG companies, suddenly you see there are a lot of scale brands, global brands, local brands out there that can get the footfalls and get the consumers into your stores, into your restaurants. But along with that, I think, is just very, very powerful insights. Very powerful insights specifically of the youth. Again, to look at our example, our brand Pepsi really connects with the youth. Our current campaign, Oh Yes Abhi, is really triggered off by youth insights. And by working together, we can really look at, see how we can combine these insights, the youth insights and the youth connect, and equally the knowledge that FMCG companies now have of digital marketing to consumers, and see really how to make this bigger. Great innovation capability exists in the FMCG companies, driven by these insights, with some great product propositions, great execution, and product development. And that is something that, again, can add a lot to same-store growth to build for the future. And innovation not just in products, but innovation in packaging, innovation in supply chain, innovation in go-to-market. And lastly, scale capability to really be able to work together. But before I sign off, my congratulations to all the winners today. I'm really waiting to hear about the stories, what brought you here and what's got you the first winning prizes, and all the very best. Thank you.